Imagine a builder who only lays bricks when they feel like it. One day they're energized, laying row after row. The next, nothing. Then 2 bricks the following week, 1 brick the next week. And before you know it, the whole month has passed. And at that rate, the house never gets built. Not because the vision wasn't good, not because the tools weren't there, but because the builder let emotion decide what gets done. That's what many do with their goals. They wait for inspiration, they rely on drive, but really what is needed is discipline. The quiet daily decision to show up when it's hard, not just when it's hype. Motivation might start the journey. It's a good starter, but it's a terrible finisher. It is identity and discipline that finish it. So if you ever feel stuck, inconsistent, or unmotivated, you're not broken. You're just building with the wrong blueprint. We all love the surge of motivation. You know, that New Year's rush, new year, new me. That moment after watching a powerful
mission growth
video, you hear a great quote, but motivation fluctuates. Standards don't. You don't rise to your highest ambition, you fall to your lowest standard. Your life doesn't reflect what you want, it reflects what you tolerate. There's a story of an Olympic sprinter. People praised her drive and she said, "I don't win races because I'm hyped. I win because I brush my teeth, eat the same meal, stretch, and train whether I feel like it or not." And what she's saying is success comes from systems, not sparks. Let that be your shift. To stop chasing emotional highs and start building unshakable standards. Let's break a myth. Discipline isn't something you have, it's something you train. Nobody wakes up with elite discipline just encoded in their DNA, but it's built through micro decisions repeated over time. Decisions like, do I hit snooze or do I get up? Do I scroll or do I start writing? Do I delay again or do I take one small step forward? These small decisions are the reps. And just like going to the gym, every rep makes the next one easier. You don't become strong by thinking about the gym. I wish you did. I ain't gonna lie, I wish you did. But you become stronger by showing up, especially on the days you don't want to. And if you're listening to me and discipline feels hard, good. That's the work. That's the growth. And what we have to do is get down to the grounded decision we made. When emotions fade, discipline must remain. Everyone starts with enthusiasm. But what happens after that first wave fades? There's a business owner that launched with momentum, fire, energy. But 6 months in, she hit walls. She was tired, sales slowed down, doubt crept in. She felt like quitting and she almost did. But what saved her in those moments was not motivation. It was a decision. It was a decision that she had made, a vow that she had made to herself before any of her feelings had changed. She built her schedule around that vow. And she showed up because of the commitment, not the mood. I challenge you to adopt this mindset. My consistency does not depend on my emotions. Because whenever emotions drive your life, the results will be unstable. And it's a better idea to let conviction be your compass and not feelings. The most powerful shift we can make isn't behavioral, it's identity-based. Stop saying I'm trying to work out. Stop saying I'm trying to write a book. Start saying I'm someone who trains my body. I am a writer, and writers write. When your identity shifts, your actions follow. And the reason this works is identity creates expectation, and it is the expectation that drives behavior. Identity is the root, action is the fruit. And when you don't feel like it, it is your identity that reminds you this is who I am. So I mentioned identity is the root and action is the fruit, but discipline isn't just about action. It's also about emotional endurance. It's about learning how to delay gratification. It's about learning to sit in boredom without quitting. It's about staying steady in frustration without spiraling. Mental toughness isn't never being tired. It's refusing to let tiredness make your choices. You don't have to feel powerful to be powerful. You just have to stop giving your feelings the final word. Another thing that we have to talk about is the fact that your discipline is shaped deeply by your environment. I heard a story about a client who kept breaking their workout streak. Every time it was something. It was late nights with unmotivated friends, junk food in the kitchen, zero accountability. But once they changed their environment, cut out triggers, joined an accountability group, created daily routines, discipline became easier. And I want you to remember this. You can't always rely on willpower, but you can design for consistency. Add friction to bad habits and add flow to your good ones. And equally as important is to surround yourself with people who make discipline the norm. One of the best ways to develop discipline is to begin to replace the motivation myth with mission mindedness. Motivation asks, what do I feel like doing today? Mission asks, what needs to be done today to get to where I'm going? If you're driven by emotion, you'll eventually burn out. But if you're driven by mission, you'll stay steady even through storms. Look at Navy SEAL training. No one feels like diving into freezing water or hiking through pain. They don't wait for a good day. They act based on orders, purpose, vision. I would say that your life deserves the same focus, the same grit, because missions don't wait on moods. If you are going to become a more disciplined person, you are going to have to master the mundane. Greatness isn't found in spotlight moments. It's found in how you treat the boring stuff. Kobe Bryant was obsessed with fundamentals. Same drills, same footwork, repeated over and over and over again. Because success lives in the boring. Most people want variety. They want to spice up their life. But the greats master repetition. And if you can train yourself to dominate the mundane, you'll build a foundation that no setback can shake. You might be asking, well, how do I build the foundation? Forget the big dramatic changes and focus on gaining daily traction. 10 minutes of writing a day equals a finished book eventually. One workout a day equals lifelong transformation eventually. Daily discipline equals compounded confidence eventually. And you're not building hype, you're building a body of work. Start small, win today, and stack the next. Momentum isn't built in miles, it's actually built in inches. Anyone can start a diet, start a book, a business, a dream, but finishers are rare. Not because they're more talented, but because they're more resolved. They keep going when no one claps for them. They stay faithful when results are slow. They finish what they started, not perfectly, but persistently. So ask yourself, am I still showing up when no one notices? Am I still building when no one cheers? That's the gap between average and greatness. And I want to challenge you to be a finisher, because the race is given to he that endures to the end, not he that starts and falls off. Don't wait for motivation. Train for discipline. And when you look in the mirror, tell yourself, I'm the kind of person that shows up. Not just when it's fun, not just when I'm excited, but when it's early, when it's hard, when it's boring. And here's a reflection for you to sit with. What would your life look like if you followed through every time, even when it wasn't exciting? That version of you, that's a finisher, the builder, the disciplined one. You were never meant to live at the mercy of your moods. So let's build something that lasts. There was a man who decided on a random Tuesday that he was going to run every single day for a year. He wasn't a pro athlete. He didn't have a training plan. He just made a decision that no matter how he felt, he would put on his shoes, step outside, and run, even if it was just 1 mile. The first few days were easy. He was motivated, inspired, and excited. Then came the rainy days, cold days, days he was exhausted from dealing with these knuckleheads at work every day, days he had a headache, days his friends told him to just take a break. And yet, he ran. Not because he felt like it, he didn't, but because he had already decided. By the time he hit day 100, something had shifted on the inside of him. He wasn't just trying to stay active anymore. He was a runner. And it wasn't about the weather, the schedule, wasn't about the mood. It was about the identity that he had built 1 mile at a time. And at the end of the year, someone asked him, "How did you stay motivated every single day?" He smiled and said, "I didn't. I stayed disciplined." If you're asking how I stay motivated, I didn't. Motivation started it. Discipline finished. And that's the invitation today. You don't need to run a marathon. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. Because over time, those small, consistent actions aren't just what you do, they become who you are. Always remember that growth is a journey, it's not a destination. I'm in it with you, and I'll see you on the next one.